Good morning, everyone. It's Adrian here, and I just wanted to talk to both parents and students if they're around. These are difficult times during the lockdown, and I have several students who are coping very well with what they're being encouraged to do by their schools. The teachers are doing an amazing job. It's incredible pressure for a lot of teachers. My wife is a teacher. She is working with key workers all the way through the day, and then in the evening she spends a heck of a lot of time producing online materials and feeds for the children to work with as well. So it's very, very hard work. Now, over the period of the lockdown, I've been putting together some revision booklets, they're guides, and I'm encouraging students as from year 9 to year 11 to acquire these. They're very low cost, but they have a lot of information in them. And what I've developed over a period of time is a method that I've designed, which relates very closely to it is based on the AQA English language papers 1 and 2, and it's called the SMART method. And I keep mentioning it in my video clips, but I think it's very important to understand why this has come about. SMART is an acronym, and each letter means a particular word. So the S is incredibly important. It means structure. As students, you must structure your answers. I mark a lot of work from students, and one of the biggest problems that examiners and teachers and tutors and people who work with students all the time come across when marking work is that a lot of the work the students do with their answers is very block written. It's not structured, it's not paragraphed well. So that's one element that I recommend that students work on within the booklets that I've produced. I've produced more than 2 guides, but the 2 guides I'm encouraging the students to actually get are the Adrian's Revision Secrets 1 and 2, because they're both related to paper 1 and paper 2. The next letter in the acronym is M. Now, this is massive. This is about mastering time management. And I said it before and I'll say it again. A lot of the time, the psychology of the exam is that students' adrenaline is running high and they kind of rush through. They don't relax in the exam. It's difficult to at first. But they also think they're wasting time on areas in the exam that are critically important. On all the cover pages of the English language paper 1 and paper 2, the advice is that they spend 15 minutes reading. Now, I know for a fact that a lot of students, sorry, that's my puppy playing at the moment in the corner there. Look, she's gone into her basket now. There's a puppy called Clemmy, and she's great. She's great company. She's with me all the time. She's now just about 10 weeks old. No, so I'm talking about the mastering time management, and the students often feel they're controlled by the exam, but they can take control of the exam if they allocate the right timings for a question. There's also this notion with the time, they waste time a lot of the time because they will overwrite, thinking that possibly if they do more, they'll get more marks. But that's not the case. If you do an 8-mark question, you basically have to write the set amount and try to get 8 marks with referencing relevant sources and metaphors and whatever it is you're doing in the question, and not doing any more than that. And I'll just let my dog out. She's going out again. Come on then. Right, so live transmission, never work with children and animals. So the other thing that is really important is just beginning to create a strategy through your time management. So the next letter in the acronym is A. So I just mentioned it briefly then. I talked about we've got to build a strategy for the exams and the assessments. Be under no illusion that teacher assessment is as hard as the exam. There's not much in it. And then the exams would, the assessments done under exam conditions would be then finally validated by an external examiner. So students have got to work twice as hard. There's a lot of pressure on them at the moment. So they need all the help they can get. So the A stands for action your plan. Now in the guide, I give an exam strategy that I suggest people use. And it's something that I've devised over several years, and it does help. And I'm sure some of my students, if they saw this YouTube, would say that's true. It's helped me to get higher grades. So they do work. The next letter in the anagram is the letter R. And, you know, being somebody who's been very involved in sport over the years, I know that in sport, especially individual sport, you have to develop individual techniques, and these are incredibly important. But you don't carry on with the same technique if it doesn't work. I play tennis, so if my backhand was good when I was a youngster, it should be outstanding by now, but it won't be if you don't upgrade your techniques and change it and change the grip or whatever. It's the same with any subject. Refine your skills. In other words, that is really, really important. And the last letter, the letter T, is train like an elite sports person. In other words, you've got to balance your revision process with developing new techniques and trying things out and being brave to do that. But at the same time, you also have to balance not just sitting in front of a laptop or a computer and doing work for 5 hours a day and expecting to develop and get better. You need to balance that with physical activity, and you need to get to bed at a decent time, get up at all sort of early times, eat well, eat healthily, and do all the things the way a top sports person would train. I'm encouraging parents to purchase these guides that I have on my website, and there's a link to that on this video. They're very low cost. They're only £3.99, and they did take an awful amount of time to put together. So they're downloadable. They're in Word format, and they can be used over and over again. So it means that your student children can actually practice questions, and I've put links on as well where they can go and get more resources and more past papers to practice, but taking out the questions as well. Anyway, look, I hope that was useful for you, but please do get in touch and click on the link on the information guide after this video. Lovely to speak with you. Take care, be safe.